it's Ash from Super Videos back for another video for Season 5 of Fear the Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at some new teaser promo images and a teaser clip, as well as a poster for Season 5 of Fear the Walking Dead. Now, one thing I do want to mention before getting into this is they have been doing a pretty good job advertising Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, something that I don't think they necessarily did for Season 4. I do want to cover these teaser images and kind of share my thoughts on them, but I'm not going to dive in detail because I think at this time, with what they've given us, we still don't know enough to dive deep into making any sort of prediction. And also, like I've said before, I'm not going to focus too much on Fear the Walking Dead for Season 5. For the time being, we may change that when the second half of Season 5 starts, but for the time being, we're going to focus on the key stuff that they release. With that said, let's jump right into this. So the first photo is this pretty interesting and pretty cool shot of the gang. This one's titled Heroes United. So from the title itself, that means that these are our heroes and they are united. Very cool, very interesting. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is we have some walkers or zombies in the background, but we have Luciana, John, Morgan, Alicia, Charlie, Strand, Althea, and June. Now, one thing that's interesting is there's no sign of Dwight or Daniel Salazar or the other two new characters, Wendell and Sarah, that were introduced in Season 4. Does that mean that they're not going to have a big part this season? It might, but at the same time, think about the title. It says Heroes United. So based on everything I just said, I think the fact that those characters I mentioned are not here means one of two things. One is that they are not the heroes per se, or that they're not going to have a big part in Season 5, or they're going to die very early on. But I do believe, based on this image, these are going to be the core characters, at least for the first half of Season 5. Now, this image is absolutely fantastic. I really like how this image is and how everyone is kind of posing and looking around. I get a lot of Avengers or superhero movie vibes from this, which is rare but interesting for the Walking Dead universe, or even in a post-apocalyptic world in general. Now, this specific image is actually connected to a video clip that they released. I will be playing this. It's 1 minute long. However, I will have the audio super low and I will talk through it, so that way this video will not be blocked by AMC. So we have the clip starting with all of the characters basically getting their weapons ready. Morgan, John, and the others that we saw in the other image. And they're basically looking around them and they're getting ready. They have all of their weapons. They're ready to attack whatever enemy is surrounding them. This enemy could be walkers like we saw in the image. It could also be human enemies as well. So that's something that they don't necessarily dive into here or explain, but I'm sure we're going to have both human threats and also the zombie threat in Season 5. Now, the other thing I do want to mention is that this is just a promo image or clip, both. It doesn't mean necessarily that this is going to happen in the actual episode, and I don't think it will. I doubt it will happen in the actual episode, something like this exactly, but we might see something that resembles this or is close to this shot or this clip, but not necessarily the same exact thing. Then what we have is some noises, and we have these two new characters coming forward in front of our heroes. And they're just two kids, which does connect to the main story. We're going to see a group of kids, and they're going to be maybe a threat, maybe not a threat, but they're going to be a new group of survivors that our heroes are going to stumble upon in Season 5. Now, the other thing I just remembered that I forgot to mention is this is titled Heroes United, which also goes back to what I said about this looking like a superhero promotional teaser, not a Walking Dead promotional teaser, but that's beside the point. Then what we see for the rest of this promo is they just stand there in front of the two kids and the wind blows John's hat out of his head, which is kind of like a comic relief part of this promo. Then it lands in front of these two kids and John says, "Would you mind?" So he's trying to get his hat back.
It's okay. We're here to help.
Alicia says, "It's okay, we're here to help," which goes back to kind of the theme of the Season 5 first half, which is helping others. this kid grabs the hat, gives it to John, and that's how this promo kind of changes again and kind of goes back to how it started, which is more serious. They hear walkers around and, they are again getting ready, grabbing their weapons. Morgan says, if it's dead, shoot it, which is a pretty epic line. And then they start shooting around them, most likely at the walkers that are around. And then we have the Fear the Walking Dead title coming up. Now, I love the fact that we have 3 main characters in front of Fear the Walking Dead, or the fear part of Fear the Walking Dead. We have Alicia, Morgan, and John. The rest are behind. Does that mean these are the key survivors for Season 5's first half? It definitely does hint at that. And also, at the end, when everything kind of zooms in, we have a closer shot, but also the characters that are kind of in your face are Alicia, Morgan, and John, like I said before. And obviously, June 2nd is going to be the premiere for Season 5 of Fear the Walking Dead. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Fear the Walking Dead Season 5. I don't have high hopes necessarily because Fear the Walking Dead has repeatedly let me down. So at this point, I don't have high hopes, but I'm interested. I'm interested to see what they're going to do in Season 5. In terms of story, what they have told us or what we know based on everything they've released, there doesn't seem to be too much there in terms of storylines. But we could be wrong and they could be hiding a little bit of that out of the promos or the trailers. If they are doing that, I'm absolutely fine with it. And I actually prefer that because that means that they're not necessarily releasing information for us to figure things out before the premiere or before the season starts, which is always a plus. So in addition to the promo clip and the promo image, we also do have this promotional poster for Season 5. It comes from Entertainment Weekly, exclusive. I think this is an absolutely cool and epic poster. It might be my favorite Fear the Walking Dead poster that they have released. It's definitely very, very interesting. It's missing a few key characters, which is kind of confusing me, but it does give us some clues about, what we might potentially be seeing or certain elements of the story that might be important or become important as the season goes on. But the characters are Althea, Luciana, Alicia, John, Morgan, Strand, June, and Charlie. These are, I think, the same group that we see in the other image. I think this is the same group. Now, the other characters that are missing that confuses me are Dwight and Daniel Salazar. But I might be just overthinking this and they just didn't include them because they didn't want to. But the fact that they're not there is kind of confusing to me. But also in the poster, we have the airplane, which we did see in the trailer, which is interesting. So that means that the airplane will be a big part or will become somewhat of an integral part of the story. Now, what's interesting is that this kind of reminds me a lot of Season 9 of The Walking Dead because in that poster, we had the helicopter. Of course, in the poster of Season 9 of The Walking Dead, the helicopter that was there was much smaller. It wasn't in your face like this plane is on Fear the Walking Dead's poster for Season 5, but at the same time, we saw how important of a role the helicopter played, at least when it came to Rick's story and his fate. So this plane being present the way it is and being portrayed the way it is leads me to think that maybe the plane is an important part of the story. Who knows? The plane may actually connect Fear the Walking Dead to the Rick story and to the movies. We know that they're going to do something in Fear the Walking Dead that connects to the Rick movies. They've been highlighting that a little bit and it's also been rumored. So who knows? Maybe the plane is the connective tissue between Fear the Walking Dead and the Rick movies, which is interesting. We also have this truck, which is not any of the truck we've seen before, which is interesting. And also we have what seems to be this building. So that's very interesting. Also some buildings here and some walkers right here. So like I said, the truck here is interesting that they have shown that on the poster. It's not the SWAT truck, it's another truck. The other thing is the plane. I love this poster. I think it's a pretty cool and epic poster. I'm very interested to see where the story goes though in Season 5. I hope that they don't let us down this time. And as much as I hate to say it, I'm still a little excited for Fear the Walking Dead, even though they've let me down consistently. But I still am interested and excited for the new season. But that's basically everything I wanted to share with you guys. But share your thoughts and comments in the comment section below on the poster, the clip, and the image that were released. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for daily uploads.